How do you face windy runs? The wind, challenging at the best of times, and at the worst of times it is in the winter when you're already struggling and you are working through a pretty miserable run as it is, and now you have to add in the element of the wind. So what do I do? Well, firstly, it depends if this is a race situation or a run situation. If it is a run situation, then I have some different suggestions for you than a race, because with your runs, you can change the direction, you can figure out some options, you can change things around a little bit more than you can in a race. So let's start with a run. If you have a windy run, if you are about to head outside and you notice the wind is very strong, if it is in the winter, the first thing I would do would be to look up what direction the wind is coming from and try to run into the wind on the way out. Now that is going to be tougher on the way out. It's going to make it more difficult, but it is going to make it feel on the way back like you have a kind of push behind you. You may even start to feel a little bit warm on the way back because you have the wind behind you and it's not like cooling you down anymore. But that way you are getting the tough part out of the way to start with, and it means that you can come in not feeling like the sweat that you have accumulated over the first half of the run is now being is now chilling you because you have this cold wind in your face. Now, obviously, for most of us, as we run back, it's not going to be a straight line back towards. You may have periods where you are turning into the wind or it's coming at your side. But in general, I would try and run in the direction of the wind. So you're running into the wind on the way out and with the wind on the way back. I would also try to, these are one of the days I would suggest wearing either a waterproof jacket or a some kind of wind resistant jacket, because it really can feel in the winter at least like it is cutting through you, going straight to the bone, and that is not very fun, at least for me. So I would recommend you wear something like that. I would also encourage you to find a loop if you can that is sheltered. So is there anywhere near you where you have a lot of tree cover or buildings that can prevent some of the wind? Or is there somewhere you can go that is like down in a valley so you are escaping a lot of the wind? That is also a helpful thing to do. Now, if you are in a race situation, the course goes where it goes, and you're not going to get a choice of when you run into the wind and for how long and what direction. In that situation, I did read a study that said, this was many years ago, that you have an 8% decrease in performance when it is a windy day. Now, if it is in the summer, this might be different because you're also going to be sweating more. It is going to make it more difficult in that way. But in general, if there is that performance decrease, you want to be aware that you're going to be working much, much harder to probably run the same pace. And for that reason, as always, this is why I recommend running by effort. Now, I am going to have a link in the comments below for you, or the description below, for you to go check out our effort scale PDF. You can go download that on there, and that will help you train yourself to be able to run by effort rather than running by what your splits say. Because in the wind, it makes it especially challenging because the wind might come rushing through at one point, but then it might ease off. So in that, when it's rushing through, you're going to feel like you have to work really hard to maintain that same pace. But in other periods, you might be able to keep going. So this is where effort running really is going to shine and help you in this situation. You also want to, expectation-wise, be aware that you are probably going to run slower. This is not the time to be running a personal best unless somehow your race is a point-to-point and you have the wind at your back the whole way. For the most part, windy races do make it especially difficult to run maybe what you want to, maybe what you're ready for. And so you want to adjust your expectations there. Overall, the biggest thing I would say is just that everyone is out there dealing with the same thing. If you are in a busy race, you can try to get in the middle of the pack or use some taller people to hide behind. But in general, it is just part of the way things are. And it can be difficult when it happens in a race, or when you have a tough workout to do and you know you've got to run into the wind and it makes you feel like you're running in sand. I get it. It is hard. It is really hard. But remember that your body doesn't know the difference between effort, between paces. So by running by effort, you are at least knowing that you're just doing your best with the situation you're presented with. And after all, that's all we can do. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you subscribe if you want to watch more of these. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time.